Alright, so hi, hello my dear students, how are you all? I hope that all my students are in the best of their health, and I welcome you all here at the very amazing platform Unacademy. Alright, so we are here to ace our term 2 examinations with Unacademy Plus. Now what is Unacademy Plus? I will be telling you, but before that, let's know a bit about me. Now, I am Ritika, a chemistry educator on Unacademy, and I have completed my engineering in electronics and communication and also been awarded grade A by Cambridge English ESOL. Now students, what are we going to study today and what is our important topic of study, that is organic chemistry, and in that we are going to basically focus on hydrocarbons for today. Okay, now students, I have a small request for all of you. Students, you can follow Unacademy Champions channel on the Telegram. So the link of this channel, it is provided to you in the description box. And why to follow this? Because you will be getting all the important information about all the classes, like YouTube classes, like special classes, all the upcoming batches, and also the ongoing offers at Unacademy on this particular channel. So in order to stay updated and to avail all the amazing offers, please follow this page, Unacademy Champions. And the link of this page, it is provided to you in the description box. And also subscribe to this channel, and let's target 1,000 subscribers. For that I need your help. That is, you will be sharing this video with your friends. Okay, and if you like this video, please press on thumbs up. Okay, and also press the bell icon so that you do not miss the amazing updates of the chapters of the sessions going on here at Unacademy. Alright, so let's quickly start with hydrocarbons. Okay, so in our last class we had a quick introduction to organic chemistry, right? And today we are going to basically focus on hydrocarbons. Okay, alright, so hydrocarbons, what are hydrocarbons? It is hydrogen plus carbon. So basically the compounds which are made up of only of hydrogen and carbon atoms, they are known as hydrocarbons. Okay, now talking about the classification, so I'll just show you how are hydrocarbons classified. So we basically have so hydrocarbons, they are classified into two categories, that is aliphatic, which are also known as open chain compounds, and we have cyclic. So cyclic compounds, they are known as closed chain compounds. Sorry, aliphatic hydrocarbons, they are further classified into two categories of saturated and unsaturated. And talking about the cyclic compounds, they are classified into alicyclic and aromatic. Now, in the saturated compounds, we are having alkanes. And the unsaturated hydrocarbons, they are composed of again two categories, that is alkenes and alkynes. Okay, so this is the basic classification of hydrocarbons. So in our today's class, we are going to basically focus on saturated compounds, but before that we will be learning a bit about saturated and unsaturated compounds. Okay, now let's talk about saturated hydrocarbons. So if I talk about saturated, the simplest one is alkane, right? Now talking about their general formula, they are represented by CnH2n plus 2. Now here N represents the natural number. right? Okay, for example, we have C1, so it will be C1H2 into 1 plus 2, that is equal to CH4. Okay, so that is the general formula of saturated hydrocarbon alkane. Now, if I talk about saturated, how to identify them, what happens over here, all the 4 valencies that we have of carbon, they are satisfied by what? A single covalent bond. Okay. Now let's talk about unsaturated hydrocarbons. So unsaturated hydrocarbons, they have either alkenes or alkynes. Now unsaturated hydrocarbons are those which have either double or triple bond between at least two carbon atoms. Okay. Now we are having alkenes and alkynes, right? So unsaturated here, it means, yeah, so the word unsaturated means more hydrogen or any other atom, we can add to it to make it saturated. That is, if single bonds are there, we need either more hydrogen or other atoms, right? Okay, now we have 2 categories over here, alkenes and alkynes. Okay, now talking about the basic difference of unsaturated and saturated carbon compounds, let's see what is the basic difference. Okay, so in saturated compounds, what's the case? All the 4 valencies of carbon, they are satisfied by single covalent bonds. So that is the first thing. Talking about unsaturated, here we need to have the valency of at least 2 carbon atoms which should not be fully satisfied by a single bond, okay, or by hydrogen atom. So at least 2 carbon atoms are not fully satisfied by hydrogen. So we need a double or triple bond for that. Hi Chetna, hello dear, how are you? Next, here what happens, the carbon atoms, they are joined by single covalent bond. Okay, so this is the kind of structure that you will be seeing. And here the carbon atoms, they are joined by either double bond or triple bond. Okay, so in the double bond we can have the structure like this, and in the case of triple bond we can have the structure like this, right? Next is the saturated compounds, they generally are less reactive. Now why are they less reactive? Because they do not have any extra electrons, okay, in the single covalent bond. So they generally undergo substitution reaction. Now what is substitution reaction? We will be learning in this particular session only. So they undergo substitution reaction. And talking about the unsaturated compounds, they generally are bit more reactive. Why? Because they have electrons in double and triple bond. So they undergo addition reaction. Okay, I hope that is very much clear to you. Now let us move on to alkanes. So as I told you, it is the simplest hydrocarbon. Okay, we learned about 2 types, saturated and unsaturated ones. So in the saturated one we have alkanes. So what are alkanes? We will be studying about that. So alkanes, these are the hydrocarbons in which all the linkage between the carbon atom are single covalent bond. So it only has single covalent bonds. And alkanes, they are known as what? They are known as saturated hydrocarbons. Now, why are they known as saturated hydrocarbons? Because all the 4 valencies of carbon are satisfied by a single bond. Okay, now if I talk about the formula, we have the general formula of CnH2n plus 2. And because of this formula, we have got single bond. Okay, so we have either single CC bond or single CH bond. Okay, now talking about the properties, they have, they undergo combustion reaction with oxygen to produce what? Carbon dioxide plus water vapor. Okay, now let's see how this. Okay, Chetna says, ma'am, I take subscription at the 6th of March. Okay, so you have already taken, Chetna. Have you taken the subscription or you are going to take? Okay. Now talking about, as I told you, the alkanes, they undergo combustion reaction to produce carbon dioxide and water vapor. So we can say the alkanes, they are what? They are flammable. Okay. Now because they are flammable, they make up good fuels. Okay. Now talking about the reaction. So let's say we have methane. Okay. It undergoes the combustion reaction. We have oxygen, and what do we get? We get carbon dioxide plus water vapor. Okay, so now talking okay, all right, Chetna. Okay, so you should be taking the subscription very soon because your exams are going to start, right? And we are going to have amazing crash courses. I'll just tell you the crash course details right now in this session. Okay, now talking about the alkanes. Yeah, they generally are unreactive. Okay, so they are unreactive under ordinary conditions. Okay, and they are also known as what? Paraffins. Now, what do we mean by paraffin? Little affinity means, they just show very little reaction under the normal or ordinary condition. Okay, so I hope that is very much clear. Now, if I talk about the alkanes, from the general formula, if we have, let's say, 2 carbon, so what will be our formula? C2H2 into 2 plus 2, that is C2H6. Similarly, for 3 carbon atoms, it will be, so it is C3H8. Okay, and likewise, you can find out the formula for n number of carbon atoms. Now talking about the sources. So sources of alkanes, if I talk about, they are, we can have the basic sources, natural gas and petroleum. Okay, so in the natural gas, we basically have methane, and in small amounts we can have ethane, we can have propane, butane, etc. Right? So the basic source becomes natural gas. Okay, I hope that is very much clear to you. Yeah, next is isomerism in alkanes. So isomerism is what? When the structure is changing, right? So the alkanes in which we are having 3 or more carbon atoms, they can form isomers, right? So what are isomers? The structure, it will be a kind of different. Okay. Now if I talk about the isomer of, I'm sorry, here it is 3, more than 3, right? Now if I talk about one carbon atom, okay, so here this is the structure which I can form with alkane, right? And this is the only structure that could be formed, which means with one carbon atom, isomerism is not possible. Then talking about two carbon atoms, so again we are having this structure, so we cannot change the structure. So again with two carbon atom it is not possible, and similarly with three carbon atoms, you know, if I bring it down also, what will happen? This will form a straight chain. So with three also it is not possible. Now we will be seeing how is isomerism possible with, hello Shohrab, how are you dear? So isomerism, it is possible with more than 3. Now if I talk, or if I take the case of 4 carbon atoms, that is butane. So butane, it has got 4 carbon atoms. Okay, and we can arrange it in 2 basic ways. So first is the very simple, that is 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then we will be satisfying the valencies over here, right? So it is hydrogen. Okay, so for 4 carbon atoms, how to pick out the formula? C4 H2 into 4 8 plus 2, that is 10. Okay, now this structure, it is known as N-butane. So N here means normal butane because it is the normal structure. Now see students, in this particular structure, I have taken all the carbon atoms in a straight chain. Yeah. Now if I have to change the structure, what I can do is I can bring one carbon atom down, that is here, right? And now if I satisfy the valencies, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now see, one carbon atom, it is brought down, so it is known as either, okay, this is one carbon, this is second and this is third. So on the second one, okay, we are having one C group, that is 2 methyl, and what's the longest chain? It is propane. Okay, or it is also known as isobutane. Okay, so that is the structure. Is it clear? Okay, now let us move on to the isomer of pentane. Now let's see how many isomers of pentane are possible. Okay, so pentane, it has got the general formula of C. Let's say we are having 5 carbon atoms, so C5H2 into 5 plus 2, which counts for C5H12. Now see students, it is the first structure, it will be the simple straight chain structure, that is this one, right? Now we will be satisfying the valencies of carbon atom. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Okay, so this is the N-pentane. That is the normal pentane. Now students, what I can do is I can take 4 carbon atoms and I can bring one down here. Okay, now what I can do, H3, then we have H, H2, H3 and again here H3. Okay, so how many carbon hydrogens we are having? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Now here on this carbon number second, this one, we are having what? Methyl group. So it will be named as 2-methyl. And how many carbon atoms are there in the longest chain? It is butane. or it can also be known as isopentane. Right? Okay, so that is clear, I hope. Next is, now see here students, I can make one more structure here. Now how is that possible? See, I can take 3 carbon atoms in a straight line. Now in second structure, I have just brought 1 carbon atom down. In the third, I can bring 2 carbon atoms on the middle carbon. Right? And if I satisfy the valency, we can have H3, H3. Okay. Now here what I have done, I have brought 2 carbon atoms, okay, one upside, one downside on the second carbon. So it can be named as 2,2 dimethyl. Why dimethyl? Because we are having 2 methyl groups, okay, 1 plus 1, 2. If at place of this one there could be 3, so it will be trimethyl, okay. So 2,2 dimethyl, and what's the longest chain here? It is propane. Okay, or in the common name we can also call it as neopentane. Okay, so I hope that is clear. The structures and the naming is clear to you. Okay, now let's move forward towards occurrence of methane. Okay students, if I talk about the occurrence, first of all, methane, it is also known as marsh gas. Now marsh gas, it is generally found in marshy areas, that is, it is found at the bottom of marshes. And how is it formed? It is formed due to fermentation of cellulose, and there is a special type of bacteria for that, right? Then it is also present in the air, which is exhaled by animals. Okay, and not all animals, but whose food contains cellulose. Okay. Next, it is also found in the intestinal gases and blood of animals and humans. Okay. Then we can find methane in the cavities in coal. And here we can find 90% methane. So it is known as fire damp. Okay, and we can produce methane by dry distillation of wood. Okay. Now students, talking about ethane, where do ethane occur? So it is present with the methane. Okay, we have 10 to 20% of ethane with the methane that we are getting. Okay, all right. Now talking about the structure of methane. So the molecule, the methane molecule, first of all, what's the formula? It is CH4, right? So it is a 3-dimensional structure. Okay, now the dot structure we can show as, let's say, these are the electrons of carbon. Okay, then we have hydrogen electrons, which are shown by star. So these are the shared electrons, or we can say that is the electron dot formula. Okay, so this is how the sharing happens in methane. Okay, so that becomes our basic structure of methane. Right? Now talking about the structural formula, since all the bonds are single covalent bonds, so we can give the formula as C, and all the hydrogen are joined by single covalent bonds. Okay. Now talking about the structure of methane, it is in the shape of tetrahedron. Okay, now why has methane got this shape? Because all the 4 outer electrons of the carbon atom, these 4 electrons, okay, these dot structures, they try to move apart from each other. And why does this happen? Because as you know, the like things, they repel each other, right? So they all are electrons, they are having similar charges, and therefore they just try to repel, okay, they just try to move away from each other. Okay, now this is the kind of structure that we can have in case of methane. So we have one carbon over here, then this is hydrogen, this is hydrogen, then again we have this hydrogen over here, and one hydrogen at the back, which is shown somewhat like this. Okay, and this particular angle, it is equal to approximately 109.5 degree. Okay, and this structure, it therefore becomes a tetrahedron structure. Okay, when we join the hydrogens, we will be getting a basic tetrahedron structure. So I hope the structure is very much clear to you. Now let us talk about the laboratory preparation of methane. Now, as I told you that there were various things that we studied till now. Okay, we learned about what are alkenes, alkanes, what are saturated and unsaturated carbons, what are the sources, what is isomerism, which is being shown in alkane, and what is the structure. Okay, now we will be moving forward towards the second category, that is laboratory preparation of methane. Now in this laboratory preparation, our reactants are sodium ethanoate, which is also known as sodium acetate, and soda lime. Okay, now what do? We take a mixture of sodium ethanoate and soda lime in a hard glass tube, okay, and we heat it. Now what is the reaction that we get? So we take sodium ethanoate, that is CH3COONA, plus soda lime, that is sodium hydroxide. Now when we heat it, the temperature is approximately 300 degrees Celsius. We get CH4, which is in gaseous form, plus Na2CO3. Okay, now this is what we get, and here we collect this methane gas by which method? We collect it by downward displacement of water. Now this is the question which can arise, that why do we collect this gas by downward displacement of water? So you can write that it is slightly soluble in water and also it is lighter than air. Okay, so I hope this thing is very much clear to you. Now see students, if I talk about the, okay, let's first of all move with the very important information for the students of grade 9 to 12. So dear students, as you already know that Unacademy is continuously rolling up with some amazing offers for all its dear students. So there are some offers and some amazing things about Unacademy that I would like to tell to you. Now it's for ICSE board students of grade 9 to 12. This offer is for the plus subscribers. Okay, now students, if you subscribe for a plus subscription for 12 months and above, you get a 10% discount, right? Now right now you will be getting one more thing in addition to extra 10% discount. And what's that thing? You will be getting extra 3-month K-12 subscription. Okay, But here this offer, it is available for first 500 subscribers. So here I request you all to kindly please fast subscribe for plus. Okay, so that you can, have this extra 3-month subscription for free of cost. This offer is going to end on 31st of January. So please make sure that you have subscribed and also you have shared this important information with your friends. And next is Unacademy Prodigy. So this new year you can also win while you're learning. Unacademy Prodigy, it is back with amazing, exciting prizes and rewards. Now what you can do is, this is for live test takers. You can enroll for free. The test is scheduled for 23rd of January, that is tomorrow, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Click on the link given below and you can have all the details. And also you can join the Telegram channel to receive or to have the whole detailed description on what is Unacademy Prodigy, what are the amazing prizes and what you can win and how you can win. Okay, so please go subscribe to Telegram channel and get all the information, and also sit in the Unacademy Prodigy test from 12 to 1 p.m. tomorrow. Now talking about laboratory preparation of ethane. So in the case of methane, we took sodium ethanoate and soda lime, right? Now here what are we going to take? We are going to take sodium propanoate and soda lime. Now let's see how the reaction happens over here. Again, we take this mixture of sodium propanoate and soda lime, we heat it. Okay, and what's the reaction that we get? The formula of sodium propanoate, that is 3 carbons, we have C2H5COONA plus NaOH. Again, heating it over calcium oxide 300 degrees Celsius, we get sodium carbonate plus C2H6. Okay, and again this gas, it is our ethane, which is collected by downward displacement of water. Okay, so I hope this reaction is very much clear to you. Now let us talk about some of the other methods, of preparation of methane and ethane. So we can get the methane or ethane by iodomethane or bromoethane. Okay, now how is this thing happening? Let us see. So we will take iodomethane. So that is CH3 and I. That is one hydrogen atom is replaced by iodine. Now if we reduce it by using nascent hydrogen, that is at normal temperature, it shows the reaction as CH4 plus HI. This is our methane which we need to collect. Okay, so that is iodomethane. Okay, and this is nascent hydrogen. Similarly, if I take bromoethane, so that is C2H5Br plus again nascent hydrogen. So what I will be getting is, I will be getting C2H6 plus HBr, and here it is ethane. Now how to produce nascent hydrogen? It is produced by action of zinc powder and dilute hydrochloric acid or zinc or copper couple in alcohol. Okay, so this is how we have nascent hydrogen, and because of the nascent hydrogen reacting with iodomethane or bromoethane, we can get methane and ethane respectively. Next is, okay, so let's go for a second one. Okay, just a minute. Yeah, so we will be going for some of the more methods of preparation of methane and ethane. So next method that we can have is when we are adding water aluminium carbide, we can get methane. Now how? What's the formula of aluminium carbide? It is Al4C3. We are adding water to it, that is H2O. Now the temperature is just the normal room temperature and we get methane in the gaseous form, and plus we get aluminium hydroxide. So we need to collect our methane. And also we can get the methane or ethane from alkyl halides. Now what are alkyl halides? When we are having one group or one hydrogen, it is replaced by halogens, right? And this reaction, it is known as Wood's reaction. So again, it is a very important topic here, Wood's reaction. Okay, so what does this reaction say? That when methyl iodide or methyl bromide, we heat it with sodium in presence of dry ether. So we are having methyl iodide or bromide. Okay, it is heated with sodium metal, and the catalyst over here that we use is dry ether. We get the ethane, I'm sorry. This reaction, it is known as Wood's reaction. Okay, so let's try it. Methyl iodide, so it is CH3I. It is heated with sodium in the presence of dry ether. Okay, so what do we get? We get CH3, that is ethane, plus 2NaI. Okay, now here one question can arise, that why only ethane? Why we cannot prepare methane by this method? Okay, so this method, it is actually suitable to prepare the alkanes with even number of carbon atoms. So we cannot prepare, or this method is not very suitable for the carbons or for the alkanes having odd number of carbon atoms. Okay. Alright, so now let's move on to the properties or the physical properties of methane and ethane. Now, talking about first, they both are colorless, odorless, and non-poisonous gases. Okay. Then talking about the melting point and boiling point. So let's go to melting point first. Okay, so melting point of methane, it is minus 183 degrees Celsius. The boiling point is minus 162 degrees Celsius. So this is the case of methane. Talking about ethane, we have melting point of minus 172 degrees Celsius. Boiling point being minus 89 degrees Celsius. Next, talking about its solubility. So both are sparingly soluble in water, and since they are organic compounds, they are soluble in organic solvents. Now what are the organic solvents which show a very good solubility? It can be alcohols, it can be acetone, it can be ether, etc., etc. Right? So I hope that is very much clear. Now let's talk about the chemical properties of the methane and ethane. Now first of all, methane and ethane, as I told you, they are alkanes, means they are saturated hydrocarbons. So they generally do not react with the bases. Okay. Now if I talk about the reaction, they undergo combustion reaction. So there are two types of combustion reaction. Okay, first one is complete combustion. Okay, so what is complete combustion? So when we take methane, let's take methane, okay, and we burn it in the air, that is we are giving it oxygen, what we will get? Carbon dioxide plus water. Similarly with ethane, that is C2H6, we will be getting carbon dioxide plus water. Okay, now this is the reaction which happens in sufficient supply of air, that is oxygen. Okay, so they also give a large amount of heat. Okay, now talking about incomplete combustion. So this particular reaction, it happens in insufficient supply of air. Okay, so if they do not have a good amount or good supply of air, what they will produce? They will be producing carbon monoxide plus water. So in the place of carbon dioxide, now we have carbon monoxide. For example, if I'm taking methane, okay, and there is insufficient supply of oxygen or air, we get carbon monoxide plus water. Okay, all right. Next is substitution reaction. Now the very important substitution reaction over here is reaction with halogen. Okay, now what does reaction with halogen says? That the alkanes, okay, like methane, ethane, they can react with chlorine, bromine, okay, in the presence of the sunlight or ultraviolet light. Okay, and what do we get? We get the halogen substituted products which are known as alkyl halide. So if I want to write the word reaction, so we can take alkane plus they react with halogen to give what? Alkyl halide. Okay, now for example, if I take the case of methane and if I heat it with chlorine, what will happen? So here I have methane plus chlorine. The condition over here, it is diffused sunlight. I will be getting CH3Cl plus HCl. Now see students, how is this reaction happening? Let me explain it to you. So if I draw the stick diagram or I show the bonding over here. Yeah, so that is first of all methane. Then we have chlorine. Okay, now what happens in this reaction? This particular HCl, it is getting removed. Okay, so here we have HCl. Now what is left over here? We have carbon, these three hydrogens as it is, and it is substituted by chlorine. So it is known as chloromethane. Okay, so this is the substitution reaction. Now this reaction does not stop over here. It further reacts. Okay, now if I talk about CH3Cl that we got, if I again make it to react with chlorine, okay, in the same conditions we will be having dichloromethane plus HCl. Then we have CH2Cl2, that is dichloromethane, again being reacted we have trichloromethane plus HCl. And here CHCl3, when it is being reacted with Cl2, we have CCl4 plus HCl. Now this is tetrachloromethane. Okay, and similarly this reaction could happen with ethane also. Next is catalytic oxidation of alkanes. So if we go for a controlled oxidation of alkane, we can get alcohol or aldehyde. Now when do we get alcohol, when do we get aldehyde? It depends upon the condition that we give. Okay, so when we take methane, okay, and I have oxygen, and the ratio of methane to oxygen, it is 9:1. Okay, and if I apply the pressure of 120 atmosphere and the temperature is 475 Kelvin, and if I pass it to copper tube, okay, I will be getting methyl alcohol. Okay, so here the conditions actually matter. Now same thing if I take, but I change the conditions. For example, if I take methane, okay, so if I pass the mixture of methane and oxygen, okay, through what? Through heated molybdenum oxide, okay, what I will get? It will be oxidized to methanol, that is formaldehyde, HCHO plus H2O. So here I am getting formaldehyde, here I got methanol. Okay, so this is first, this is second, and let's go for another, which is when we are using a manganese based catalyst, okay, at temperature approximately 100 degrees Celsius, the methane, it can be oxidized again to methanoic acid. Now how does this happen? I'm having methane, oxygen. Now I'm having manganese compound. Okay, so I've used the catalyst of manganese. Now what I will get? So that here is the formic acid. Okay, so it actually depends on the conditions that we are providing to the alkanes. Hope that is very much clear. Okay, now next is slow combustion. What is slow combustion? If we treat methane or ethane with oxidizing agent, okay, like acidified KMnO4 or potassium permanganate or potassium dichromate, okay, we are having high pressure, we will be getting different things. Now how are those different things formed? Let's see. We have taken alkane, okay, we have treated with K2Cr2O7. Now on oxidation it gives alcohol. Further it gives same thing we are having, it gives aldehyde. Same conditions, we are having acid, that is carboxylic acid, and then we have CO2 plus H2O. Okay, so this is what we get. Let's see how does this happen. So first is methane. Okay, on oxidation we get what? CH3OH. Okay, further we have HCHO, that is formaldehyde. Then we will be getting carboxylic acid, that is HCOOH, and further we will be getting carbon dioxide plus water. So this is the reaction that takes place. Hope that is very much clear. Now let's talk about the uses of methane and ethane. Now students, methane, it is a very good source of carbon monoxide and hydrogen. Next, it is used to manufacture or to prepare some of the compounds like ethine, which is also known as acetylene. Okay, then we have methanol, formaldehyde, then we can have methanol, we saw chloromethane, etc. Okay, it's methane, I'm sorry. Okay, so it is used to form these type of compounds. Okay, and also methane, it is used as domestic fuel. Next, talking about the ethane, so it is used to prepare ethene, ethanol, ethanol, that is aldehyde, then we have ethanoic acid. Now it is also used to form ethyl chloride, and this further it is used to form tetraethyl lead. So this particular thing, okay, and then we have 1,1,1 trichloroethane. So that is also formed using this, and which is one of the agent that is used in the dry cleaning, okay, and then it is also a good fuel. So these are the different type of uses of methane and ethane. Now students, let's quickly see what are the things that we have covered today. Okay, so we started with hydrocarbons, saturated and unsaturated ones. So saturated we have alkane having single bond, unsaturated we have alkene and alkyne having double or triple bond. Alkanes, they are joined by single covalent bond. The formula is CnH2n plus 2. Okay. Now they are flammable, they are good fuels, okay, they are generally unreactive under ordinary conditions. They are also known as paraffins. The sources of alkanes are natural gas and petroleum. Now talking about isomerism, so alkanes having more than 3 carbon atoms, they show the isomerism property. Methane, it occurs normally at the bottom of the marshes, or it is also present in air which is exhaled by animals whose food has cellulose. It is present in intestinal gases and blood of animal and humans. It is present in cavities of coals, and it is also, present, or we can also get it by distillation of wood. Its structure is tetrahedral structure. The laboratory preparation of methane and ethane. So first, talking about methane, we can get it by making the reaction of sodium ethanoate and soda lime when we heat it. Okay. Similarly, for ethane, we take sodium propanoate and soda lime. We heat this mixture. Next is, we can also get it using water and aluminium carbide or Wood's reaction for ethane. Okay, which is not very possible for the carbon containing odd number of for the hydrocarbons having odd number of carbon atom. That is why this reaction, Wood's reaction, it is not possible for this reaction to produce methane. Then physical properties, they are colorless, odorless, they are not very soluble in water but soluble in organic solvents. They undergo complete combustion to produce carbon dioxide and water. They undergo incomplete combustion to produce carbon monoxide and water. Then we have substitution reaction, that is reaction with halogens. Okay. Then it is catalytic oxidation of alkanes. So on changing the type of conditions, we can get different type of products. Okay. And on slow combustion, we again get different products from alkane to alcohol, then aldehyde, carboxylic acid, and finally carbon dioxide and water. The uses are, methane is a great source of carbon monoxide, hydrogen. We can get various things such as ethine, methanol, methanol, chloromethane, etc. Then we have domestic fuel. Okay, so methane, it is used as domestic fuel. Ethane, it is also a good fuel. It is used to produce ethene, ethanol, ethanol, ethanoic acid, etc., etc. So I hope that you might have understood everything that we have learned today. Now talking about Unacademy subscription features. So of course you can learn from the comfort of your house. You can have unlimited access to all the courses. You will be taught by top educators of India. Also, you will be having regular doubt clearing sessions. You will have all the study material provided to you in the PDF format. You will also have regular practice tests. Now, how you can subscribe? You can subscribe to Unacademy Plus by choosing a plan. Okay, you can choose the plan as per your preference. 6 month, 12 month, 24 month, 42 month, etc. Whatever you want to go for. But with each exceeding plan, your per month cost, it will reduce. Okay, you can enter my educator code, that is RITIKACLIVE. So this code can be used to avail 10% discount, students. Okay, a very important information. There is a batch ESOL, which is all subject batch in English, which is going to start from 7th of February 2022. Now, as you know, your final exams, term 2 exams are very soon going to start. So you have to start your preparation seriously. And no worries, Unacademy is here. We will be having a crash course. Okay, so here physics will be taken by Ayushi ma'am, biology will be taken by Shikha ma'am, and chemistry will be taken by me. So this is going to start from 7th of February. So students, kindly enroll yourself fast. And if you subscribe for grade 10, you will be getting the subscription of grade 11 and 12 absolutely free. Now, what is Unacademy free special class? It's special because here we are having lifetime interaction. Okay, we are having chats, emojis. You can talk with your teachers. We have poll leaderboards wherein you can compete with your friends. You can ask questions using question tab. You can clear your doubts, etc. Now, how to watch my special class? First, you need to download Unacademy Learner app. When you click on it, open the app. You just need to click on Get Started. Enter your mobile number, enter the OTP, and sign up using the email ID. Okay, so just put in all the information that is needed. Okay, then you have to put in the goal that you are preparing for. So in your case, the goal will be class 6th to 12th. Now after that, students, what you need to do is you will select your board and your grade. CBSE, ICSE, State Board, whatever, and then you will be choosing a language that you want to learn in, English, Hindi or English. Okay, now in the description of this particular video, students, there is a link of special class. If you click on that link, okay, you will click on notify me, and if you click on notify me, you will be notified just 10 minutes before the class is going to begin. And you can use my code, that is RITIKACLIVE, to unlock my special class for free of cost. Okay, so I hope you might have understood everything. Let's recap what are the things we have learned today. Firstly, we learned about hydrocarbons. So what are hydrocarbons? The compounds which only contain hydrogen plus carbon. In that, we saw the hydrocarbons are of two types, saturated and unsaturated. The saturated hydrocarbons, they had alkanes, and unsaturated we have alkenes plus alkynes. Okay, so then we learned about alkanes basically. Okay, the general formula is CnH2n plus 2. Okay, then we saw the physical properties. We saw the chemical properties. We saw methods of preparation. We saw isomerism. And we saw the uses. Okay, so these are the basic things that we have covered in our today's class. I hope that you might have understood every single thing. Okay, now students, please join the Telegram channel and also download the Unacademy app so that you can have access to the special classes as well as the batch courses when you take or pick up a plan. You can get the Unacademy app on Play Store or App Store, and please download it to have all these features for free. And students, as you know that your examinations are very soon going to start, so it's a humble request, kindly hurry up and take the plan, take the batch courses, take the enrollment, and be present in the batch courses so that you can have the advantage of the amazing sessions that go on here at Unacademy. And also don't forget about Unacademy Prodigy. Okay, the test is scheduled for tomorrow, so kindly enroll yourself and win exciting prizes. So we will be meeting in the next class, in which we will be learning a bit more about many things of your term 2 syllabus. Please kindly like this video, share this video, and take care of yourself. All the very best for your preparation. Let's meet in our next class. Thank you.